Congratulations to all of this year's finalists. In many categories, there was only a point or two difference in the ratings. So no matter who gets to take home the trophies today, you are all award winners. Yes, you are all award winners in a society that admires creativity, but doesn't really value creativity. Have you ever really thought about the difference? Someone recently told a group of us, "You don't write for the money, do you?" That made me blink at the time, and I've thought about it a lot since. I suppose if I did write only for the money, I'd be sorely disappointed on a daily basis. But writing isn't the only creative thing that I do. It's just the only thing I do that seems to bring that attitude out in people. I create other things for the sole purpose of selling them. Whether it's a sewn creation or a pet portrait, I can't imagine anyone saying, "Those are great. I'll just take them off your hands," because the creative process is all you really need to be happy, right? And it's true that writing is my fun, my obsession, and my therapy all rolled into one. But loving to do something doesn't reduce its value. Can you imagine if no one expected pro football players to play for money? I mean, isn't what they do fun for them? They do call it a game. But as we all know, they are one of the most highly rewarded groups of people in our society, lavished with money, advertising deals, and celebrity-like attention. And most of us would say, we don't need anything close to that to be happy with our writing careers. We just want some appreciation, and yes, the money that should come with that. And despite those who don't value a great book as highly as we think they should, we know that many out there do. It's a question of finding them. So how do we do it? How do we stand out in a crowd when we are a bunch of little fish in an expansive ocean of writers, trying to make people believe that there's value in what we do? One fish can be easily overlooked, but a school of fish is another matter. If I stand alone in this space, nobody would even look my way. But all of us together makes anyone passing by wonder what is going on. If I'm touting my own book, someone may or may not believe its value. If one of you touts my book, their faith in that book grows. If two or more sing its praises, a sale is made. We can do that for one another. We can show the world what has value by actively valuing it. I'm convinced that we can show the world our value as writers by promoting each other at least as often as we promote ourselves. As my daughter-in-law, Kitty, often says, teamwork makes the dream work. Last year, I reported at this time that Cal membership was close to 330. We now have 360 members. This means that we have 359 author friends in a community with the potential to help each other. 359 author friends with the ability to read and review other people's books on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Goodreads, and BookBub. Cut and paste, people, cut and paste. 359 friends who can not only post about their own work on social media, but who can share other members' posts with the click of a button. Don't you feel amazing when someone shares your book post? We could be feeling amazing pretty much 24/7 if we all got on board with this simple yet powerful idea. Together, we're stronger, smarter, and more visible. Together, we're the Colorado Authors League. We're going to start off our awards presentation with honoring our 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Margie Evans. One of our former presidents, Barb Lundy, nominated Margie, but she couldn't be here with us today. So longtime friend Denny Dressman will do the honors of an introduction.
Thank you, Jody. And hello to all my friends, those of you who remember me. I'm glad to be here, and I hope you have a good time. I met Margie 10 years ago. Vicki Bain was Cal president then, and I was new on the board. Margie then was editor of what we had a printed newsletter at that time called In Print. I didn't know anything about her then, but I soon learned what a valuable Cal member she was. She remained on the board as I eventually became president myself, and I don't know what I would have done without her willingness to tackle whatever I needed help doing. I've learned a lot more since those days, such as she loves horses, but her love of horses is exceeded by her love for her family. Husband Tom, their 5 children, and 13 grandchildren. In fact, it was her dedication to playing with her grandkids, in this case pickleball, that has her currently using a walker. Broken fibula. She's a very good writer and storyteller. I encourage you to participate in the YouTube virtual Margie Evans Lifetime Achievement Award video watch party this Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. I think you'll learn a lot more about her. But now it's my pleasure and honor to introduce the recipient of the 2024 Colorado Authors League Lifetime Achievement Award, Margie Evans.
As Denny said, I'm standing up here with a walker. Not my usual piece of equipment, but it's kind of fitting because when I received the notice from the email from Jody saying that I'd been selected to receive this award, I was stunned. And the first person that I called out to was Tom, and he said, "Oh, that just means you're old." And so I guess the walker is a perfect prop for being old. But it fits with, my broken fibula actually fits with the talk I'd prepared today. Anthropologist Margaret Mead was asked by a student what she considered to be the first sign of civilization in a culture. She said, the first sign of civilization in a culture, in an ancient culture, was a femur that had been broken and then healed. She explained, in the animal kingdom, if you break a leg, you die. No animal survives not being able to get to water or get to food, and in fact, they become the prey. So she said that no animal would survive a broken leg long enough for the bone to heal. Well, a broken femur that is healed is evidence that someone took the time to stay with the one who fell, bind that wound, carry the person to safety, tend them through the recovery. Helping someone else through difficulty is where civilization starts. Well, I can tell you the Evans family is very civilized. They did not leave me rolling around on the pickleball court. Probably they helped me off because the next people were ready to get onto the court. But in any case, they were there to help me. And now my poor husband is having to take care of this wife who can't feed the horses and clean the stalls for a while. So he's loving every day. But I was thinking, imagine archaeologists several decades in the future coming across the remains of a Colorado Authors League meeting. They would find books, manuscripts, articles, beautiful covers and illustrations, reviews, and maybe even some sales receipts. They would find the results of hours, days, and months of work. They'd find edits and comments on manuscripts written by someone other than the author. In other words, they would conclude that we are a civilized organization because there would be so much evidence of people helping one another. 22 years ago, once all my children were in school, I started my longed-for writing career. And it soon became obvious that going it alone would not only be unpleasant, but probably unsuccessful as well. So I applied for membership in the Colorado Authors League. I recall a statement by Confucius where he said, "If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room." From my first Cal event, I knew I was not the smartest person in the room, so I knew I was in the right room. You said a funny quote about that I wanted to share. A few weeks ago, before this happened, my little 6-year-old granddaughter was helping me feed the horses. And she's getting quite good at it. She knows how to scoop the grain and where to put it in their stalls. And she's really getting to be helpful, even though she's just so tiny. And she, after we were finished, I said, "Quinn, thank you so much for helping me feed the horses. It made it go so much faster." And she said, "Teamwork makes the dream work, Nana." I had not heard that saying before. But Cal has been my team. I've had beta readers, launch team members, reviewers, marketing partners, editors, role models, illustrators, and much more that I have connected and worked with because of Cal. Einstein said, "There are 2 types of people who never get anything done: those who never get started and those who never finish." Well, I've always been a finisher. I get a bee in my bonnet, as you could say, and I work away at it until I get it done. And an example of this would be the first books that I wrote are actually nonfiction equestrian trail guide books. And I decided to write these books because I'd moved from Oregon and I didn't know where to ride. So I asked a friend, who is also a horsewoman, if she would block off every Friday and be one of my test riders, and we would go explore these trails. And, I mean, awful research, I know. Terrible. But she said to me, "I'll do it because I know you'll get it done, and I will not have wasted my time." Well, that was the old Margie. Then I started working on a book that was really hard for me. It was Finding Fionn, the first historical mystery. And I had never written a mystery before, and it really intimidated me. But I had Denny Dressman to keep pushing me. So sometimes you just need someone to push you to get it done. I would say, "I can't do this, Denny. I can't do this." And he'd go, "You're doing it. You're a mystery writer. You're doing it." Well, Denny, I happened to, besides working with him on the board, he was working on a nonfiction. He likes to write stories about sports heroes. And he was writing a book about a horse racing trainer, and he asked me to be a beta reader for him to make sure he was getting the horse stuff right. And So I said, sure. And I read through it and made whatever suggestions needed to be made. And then he said, this is great. Now, what can I do for you? Well, that was 5 historical fiction books ago that he has been my push and my editor to keep those books going. And that I would never have happened without my association with Cal and with the members here. I have a daughter who is a professional harpist. And, I mean, she is amazing. She has magic fingers. And she plays for 2 symphonies, and she teaches at 2 universities, and she does a lot of weddings and receptions, gets hired to do a lot of that. And she teaches. And she actually said to me a few months ago that this guest conductor had singled her out. I mean, he's really a famous guy. And he had singled her out of the whole symphony to praise her work. And she said, I'm just a harp imposter. And she said, I couldn't believe that he picked me out. Well, you're looking at an author imposter right here. I could not believe that Cal would single me out as the recipient for this award. I am humbled. I am grateful. But I'm still just amazed that I was chosen for this award. And I want to thank you and for the nominating committee and the people who have supported me in so many ways. And this is just like the icing on the cake. Thank you so much.
Margie, I have appreciated getting to know you as an author and a friend. And today Cal would like to present you with this little old thing that shows how much we value you.
Thank you.
Do you want us to move the walker? Do you want to have that?
The Colorado Authors League's Author Advocate Award celebrates the people and organizations that support authors in Colorado. This year, we are proud to acknowledge Michael Peaver as our 2024 Author Advocate Award winner. Michael works with the Colorado State Library to provide books for book clubs, an ideal place for readers to find new author favorites. We appreciate this more than ever as the publishing industry changes have isolated authors. Michael's dedication to connecting Colorado authors' books with Colorado book clubs makes him an ideal candidate for the Author Advocate Award, which I have right here. Michael, I'm sure you can explain what you do better than I can. So come up and say a few words.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much. I first want to thank the Cal Board. This very kind recognition. I was also equally stunned when I got that email. And I'm still stunned, standing here today, but I'm very grateful for it. I'm very grateful for Cal as a partner. And yeah, just honored to be recognized by this venerable organization. I think we can do much good together, and I really see that this award as a symbol of that, and I do look forward to building on that going forward. I have to say thank you to Jerry Mitchell, who first reached out. He's a force of nature, Jerry Mitchell, and I very much appreciate him connecting me with Jody, and Jody for everything that you do. I can see you do a great deal, and I do look forward to working with you more in future. I think that Jerry recognized that libraries and authors, we really are twin souls, we're natural partners, and I think we can always do more to lift each other up. I'm privileged to work with an amazing group of people at the State Library. My director, Reagan Harper, is filming right now, and she is just an amazing supporter of Colorado authors and has been a fantastic mentor to me, so all thanks goes out to her, and all the support with me here today, my beautiful wife, Katie, and my American family, and also my family back home in England, who are also supporting. I love you all. Thank you. Most of all, I want to give a huge thank you to the many Cal members, authors, who have contributed books to the Colorado Book Club resource. Because of that, the collection is so much more representative today. Excuse me. And let's face it, just better in every way. And so, yeah, I really appreciate the generosity that I've seen. I think a culture of reciprocity is exactly what we need. I think authors understand that. Libraries understand it too. So we are natural partners. It's been an absolute joy watching this collection grow over the last 5 years or so. We now have quite a diverse collection of book club sets that we lend out to libraries and book clubs and reading groups all across Colorado. And yeah, it's all the more stronger now because of our excellent selection from Colorado authors. Yeah, it's just been so wonderful to see it grow in this way. And I hear very regularly from librarians, library staff, just how useful a collection is to them and how much they truly appreciate it. And I can sense there is a great deal of affection on their part for you and for what you do. Book clubs, they've always been I think of them as a quietly powerful entity. They're a little bit overlooked, really, but their history is fascinating. And if we have any history writers who want to write that history, by the way, it's there for the taking. But there's often a radical history and a very interesting history waiting to be uncovered. And it's exciting to see today that we have so many different book clubs, a great variety, and so much interest in using this venue and expanding it in new ways, which is just very exciting to be a part of, even in a small way. I think that libraries and authors working together are unstoppable. So let's keep supporting each other wherever and whenever we can. And thank you again so much for this very kind honor and for what you do. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
If you want to know more about how Cal is working with the Colorado State Library, and if you want your books to be a part of this, the information is on our website under the Member Resources tab. You must be logged in to find it. I will say that again. You must be logged in to find it. I need a t-shirt with that. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Margie. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, Michael. Now it's time to turn it over to Lori, who's going to do the presentation of our awards.
Thank you, Jody. It's a privilege to be asked again this year to do the Awards for Excellence in Writing at this lovely venue. Before we start, I want to give one more round of applause to Margie and to Michael for their service to the community, to authors, and the writing world and beyond. Anne Lamott says it best: what a miracle it is that out of these small, flat, rigid squares of paper unfolds world after world after world. Worlds that sing to you, comfort or excite you, or quiet you. It's appropriate that we've had a hot summer because the writers who entered the Cal Awards this year are hot. Some of the best that we've seen. So congratulations to all who entered the awards, and congratulations to all the finalists here today. Just a quick note, would all the finalists, all the finalists will be announced in alphabetical order by title. And would all the finalists please stand and stay standing when you hear your names. Winners, once you've received your award, would you please pause for a moment so that we can get a photo. We'll start with the awards for the short categories of essays, articles, single poem, and short stories. In the category of essays, the nominees are Memento Mori, Eulogy for Merrily by Catherine Underhill Fitzpatrick, Memento Mori, Eulogy for My Father by Catherine Underhill Fitzpatrick, Just Like Your Father by Carol Ann Wilson. And the award goes to Carol Ann Wilson, Just Like Your Father. In the category of articles, the nominees are Dwight Eisenhower, America's First Pilot President by Penny Rafferty Hamilton, Respiratory Distress in Pets, Helping Clients Understand the Dangers and Signs by Roxanne Hahn, and Antidote to Truth by Carol Ann Wilson. The award goes to Penny Rafferty Hamilton, Dwight Eisenhower, America's First Pilot President. And unfortunately, Penny is not here today. Rainer Maria Rilke said, "Find out the reason that commands you to write. See whether it has spread its roots into the very depth of your heart. Confess to yourself you would have to die if you were forbidden to write." Which brings us to the category of single poem. The nominees are Contemplating a Statue of the Reclining Pan, Nimbin, 2012, by Dan Gunther, Sunrise on the Shortgrass Prairie by Dan Gunther, and Heat by Petra Perkins. The award goes to Dan Gunther, Contemplating a Statue of the Reclining Pan, Nimbin, 2012. And it looks like Dan is not here today. In the category of short stories, the nominees are Casting Grand Titans by Leah Engstman, The Light Ages by Leah Engstman, Annika and Edward by Stefan Scheuermann, Kami's Curse by Benjamin M. Weilert. And the award goes to Leah Engstman, The Light Ages. And Leah is not here today. Okay. We now move to the category of children's books. Sure, it's simple writing for kids, just as simple as bringing them up. That's Ursula K. Le Guin. In the category of children, early reader, the nominees are Monsters in the Briny by Lynn Becker, Too Much, An Overwhelming Day by Jolene Gutierrez, Cats by J.B. Stockings. This year's award goes to Lynn Becker, Monsters in the Briny. In the category of illustration, the nominees are Tap and Rap, Move and Groove by Connie B. Dow, illustrated by Debbie Palin, Too Much, An Overwhelming Day by Jolene Gutierrez, illustrated by Angel Chang, Poop Theory, Find Your Pony by Andrea Rudolph, illustrated by Jennifer L. Matthews. This year's award goes to Connie B. Dow and Debbie Palin, Tap and Rap, Move and Groove. And they are not present today. The mind has plenty of ways of preventing you from writing, and paralyzing self-consciousness is a good one. The only thing to do is ignore it, and remember what Vincent van Gogh said in one of his letters about the painter's fear of the blank canvas. The canvas, he said, is far more afraid of the painter. That's Philip Pullman. In the category of book cover design for children or juveniles, the nominees are Tap and Rap, Move and Groove by Connie B. Dow, cover design by Colleen Pidell, Oski Becomes a Service Dog by Chris Mandeville, cover design by L.B. Hayden. And this year's award goes to Connie B. Dow and Colleen Pidell, Tap and Rap, Move and Groove. And once again, Connie is not here. In book cover design, adult general, the nominees are Unexpected Riches by C.S. Boyle, cover design by Jacqueline and Ariane Pivoto, Raven Woods, Smoke Signals by Denise Gard, Bryn and Sebastian Hate Each Other by Bethany Turner, cover design by Sandra Chu. And the award goes to Bethany Turner and Sandra Chu. Bryn and Sebastian Hate Each Other. In the category of book cover design adult suspense, the nominees are Time Agents Complications by Jody Bowersox, cover design by Tristan Bowersox, The Other Side of the Rainbow by Julie Cordova, True Crime Redux by Stephanie Kane. And the winner is Julie Cordova, The Other Side of the Rainbow. And sadly, Julie is not here today. Kurt Vonnegut offers this perspective on writers. Tellers of stories with ink on paper have either been swoopers or bashers. Swoopers write a story quickly, higgledy-piggledy, crinkum, crankum, any which way. Then they go over it again painstakingly, fixing everything that is just plain awful or doesn't work. Bashers go one sentence at a time, getting it exactly right just before they go on to the next one. When they're done, they're done. So in addition to plotters and pantsers, you can now call yourselves, or argue over whether you are, a swooper or a basher. Just be careful what company you're in. We now come to the awards for book-length works. In nonfiction general, the nominees are Grace in the Wound, Finding Hope in Long-Term Grief by Kathleen Hendricks, Photography and Schizophrenia by Jean Manthei, Culturally Responsive Reading, Teaching Literature for Social Justice by Dorothy A. Washington. This year's award goes to Kathleen Hendricks, Grace in the Wound, Finding Hope in Long-Term Grief. And Catherine is not here today. Excuse me, Kathleen. In the category of nonfiction history, the nominees are Dr. Martha Cannon of Utah, The Unexpected Victorian Life of America's First Female State Senator by Joan Jacobson, Disneyland on the Mountain, Walt the Environmentalist, and The Ski Resort That Never Was by Catherine Mayer and Greg Glasgow, Gold-Fated Family, J.J. Brown, Husband of Unsinkable Margaret Molly Brown by Jody L. Pritzl. The award goes to Catherine Mayer and Greg Glasgow, Disneyland on the Mountain, Walt the Environmentalist, and The Ski Resort That Never Was. In the category of nonfiction biography memoir, the nominees are Dr. Martha Cannon of Utah, The Unexpected Victorian Life of America's First Female State Senator by Joan Jacobson, True Crime Redux by Stephanie Kane, Bluebird Seasons, Witnessing Climate Change in My Piece of the Wild by Mary Taylor Young. This year's award goes to Bluebird Seasons, Witnessing Climate Change in My Piece of the Wild by Mary Taylor Young. And Mary is not here today. Erin Morgenstern on writing. You may tell a tale that takes up residence in someone's soul, becomes their blood and self and purpose. That tale will move them and drive them, and who knows what they might do because of it, because of your words. That is your role, your gift. We now move to the fiction categories. In middle grade fiction or nonfiction, the nominees are Hawk's Cry, The Story of a Cheyenne Hero by Luann Kester, Control Freaks by J.E. Thomas, Katie Cooper, Time Traveler by Bill E. Wright. And this year's award goes to J.E. Thomas, Control Freaks. In young adult, fiction or nonfiction, the nominees are Finding Fionn by M.J. Evans, Charting the Course by Leslie Wall, Spirited, No Accidents by S.M. Webb. This year's award goes to Leslie Wall, Charting the Course. In the category of novellas, the nominees are The Adventure of the Speckled Band, Revisited by Daniel Ginsberg, A Home for Christmas by Jean Jacobson, and Promise Me Christmas by Ginny Rifkin. This year's award goes to Daniel Ginsberg, The Adventures of the Speckled Band, Revisited. Neil Gaiman writes of creating fiction. When writing a novel, that's pretty much entirely what life turns into. House burned down, car stolen, cat exploded, did 1,500 easy words, so all in all, it was a pretty good day. We now move to fiction. In the category of mainstream literary, the nominees are Paradise Undone, a novel of Jonestown by Annie Dawood, As Joan Approaches Infinity by Kika Dorsey, The Lion's Den by Jerry Fabianic. This year's winner is Paradise Undone, a novel of Jonestown by Annie Dawood. I know Annie lives on the Western Slope, so I don't think she made it today. In the category of fiction, fantasy, paranormal, the nominees are Personal Demons by L.R. Braden, Ren the Traveler by Todd Fonestock, The Truth Stealer by Kendra Merritt. This year's winner is L.R. Braden, Personal Demons. In the category of fiction, science fiction, the nominees are Crystal of Tears by A. James, Surviving Daybreak by Kendra Merritt, Minimum Safe Distance by X Ho Yen. This year's award goes to Surviving Daybreak by Kendra Merritt. James Michener said, "I love writing. I love the swirl and swing of words as they tangle with human emotions," which is appropriate for our next category, romance. The nominees are Time Agents, Complications by Jodi Bowersox, Bryn and Sebastian Hate Each Other by Bethany Turner, The Do-Over by Bethany Turner. And this year's winner is The Do-Over by Bethany Turner. In the category of historical fiction, the nominees are Louise and Vincent by Diane Byington, Esperanza's Way by Cindy Maynard, After Anne, a novel of Lucy Maud Montgomery's life by Logan Steiner. And this year we have a tie for the award. Diane Byington, Louise and Vincent, Logan Steiner, After Anne. A warning to the audience from Mary Higgins Clark. When someone is mean to me, I just make them a victim in my next book. Which brings us to our final categories, mystery and thriller. In the category of mystery, cozy amateur sleuth, the nominees are Brittle Bones by Paula Hunter, Dying to Ride by Lenore Mitchell, The Killer Without a Face by Helen Starbuck. And the winner is Brittle Bones by Paula Hunter. And I know Paula lives in our, as some people call it, our northernmost Colorado city, Cheyenne, Wyoming. In the category of mystery law enforcement, the nominees are Hunting the Truth by Kathleen Donnelly, Mamie's Well by Daniel Ginsberg, Play of Shadows by Barbara Nicholas. This year's award goes to Play of Shadows by Barbara Nicholas. In the category of fiction thriller, the nominees are Time Agents Complications by Jodie Bowdersocks. Okay, I'm sorry. Jodie Bowdersocks. Okay, I have not been drinking. Wyo Nation by Dallas Jones, and Sinai Surrender by Jeff Lelick. And this year's award goes to Jodie Bowdersocks, Time Agents Complications. In Zen, in the Art of Writing, Ray Bradbury says of writers, "We never sit anything out. We are cups, quietly and constantly being filled. The trick is knowing how to tip ourselves over and let the beautiful stuff out." This concludes the awards portion of our ceremony. If all the finalists and winners will please stand, let's give them another round of applause. Congratulations to you all.
Congratulations, everybody. Lori, you and I are going to talk. That's a new one. Okay, before we leave today, I'd like to thank a few people for their service to Cal. A very special thanks to our active volunteers, Marge Charlier, Stefan Scheuerman, John Rabens, Brenda Small, Cassie Clark, Lauren Braden, Lori Mar Wasmond, Teresa Crater, Kevin Bowersox, Tristan Bowersox, Tyler Holm, Jerry Fabianic, and Tiffany Sahara have all lent a hand to keep all the various parts of Cal running smoothly. Thanks also to our current board members, Lori Mar Wasmond, Kendra Merritt, Robert Williscroft, Andrea Spoor, Todd Fonestock, Stefan Scheuerman, and our newest, Judy White, who has volunteered to be next year's awards director. So you can give all the questions to her. If you're a volunteer or a board member, would you please stand up? And let's give them a round of applause. I so appreciate your willingness to give a little bit of your time to make Cal one of the best writing organizations in the state. Perhaps the biggest announcement of the day for the Cal organization is the next president of Cal. Catherine Underhill Fitzpatrick has agreed to take this on in 2025. Again, send your questions to her in January. You can make her the new t-shirt that says you must be logged in. Catherine is kind, efficient, diplomatic, and experienced in life and heading up an organization such as Cal. I believe she will be a great asset. It has been an honor to serve as Cal's 77th president. I added them up last night. But it's time to pass the torch. Thank you, Catherine, for being willing to take it out of my hands. I'd also like to thank Party Life Rents for setting us up with tables, chairs, and tablecloths, Wolf Videography for filming our event, Tristan Bowersox for taking pictures and creating our flyers. As soon as I'm done, he will be setting up over there by the banner to have more pictures taken if you'd like to have another one with your trophy, your certificate, or if you just want a memory of the day with your pals, go over there and he'll take pictures. Feel free to mingle, and if anyone would like to help us tear down and clean up, we won't turn you down. The Lifetime Achievement video celebrating Margie's writing career was put together by Denny Drussman and James Wolfe, and we will have a YouTube watch party this Tuesday at 7 p.m. I sent out the link a few days ago, so check your email. We have flyers available highlighting this year's winners and finalists, so be sure and come pick up a couple along with your finalist certificates and book stickers for both winners and finalists. If you were a finalist in 2 categories, you will have 2 certificates. If you were a winner in one category and a finalist in another, you will have a certificate to go along with your trophy. Please don't leave without them. We would rather not have to ship them to you. Thank you all again for coming. Be sure to come to our Wine and Read in September. More info will be in the next newsletter. Be sure and read it. Thank you all for joining us today.